Hello and welcome back to another VOD review. We are going to be checking out the Florida Mayhem taking on the Atlanta Reign. This is unfortunately not the game where Florida broke the rules, ruined everything that we thought to be true about Overwatch, and made children cry across the world. This is the one where this was the first match that both of these teams played. It was an interesting look. I think going into the season, a lot of people were heavily underrating how good Florida Mayhem were going to be, just like because they have so much like underrated or unknown talent. But I think they're starting to prove that they are going to be a good team. They don't get the win against Atlanta Reign in this match, but it was close, except for Watchpoint Gibraltar, and we'll talk about that when we get there. But there's not too much to talk about. Let's just start playing. Let's just start here and talk about their rosters. So we got Checkmate Hydron playing the DPS. There's also Exy, who is sitting on the bench. I don't know if he's in North America, chat. Do you know if he's in North America yet? We have someone being the main tank for this team and being the primary tank. Seems to be a really good player. Great personality. We have Animo on the main support and Sir Majed as the flex support. So Sir Majed, I think, impressed a lot of people as a rookie this opening weekend. Same thing with someone. But there's just so many new players to this team. It's hard to really... Who's the main tank? We are not going to do that all season, chat. We're not going to do that, okay? We're not going to be like, who? Where? Who's someone? When do you think we'll see Kriv? I think they just practice. Remember, Kriv was signed very late in the season, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're just playing with Sir Majed because he's been scrimming with them for longer. That was one of the things that Kriv said when I talked to him. I'm like, no, Sir Majed's been playing with them for months. Let's talk about the Atlanta Reign now. Kai, Nero, Hawk, Ultraviolet, OG, Edgy E-Boys is what they're called. The Zoomers by Avast. We don't really know what to call them, but very talented roster. I think they had a pretty good weekend. They didn't play super hard teams, but they were dominant against the teams that they did play. I think Ultraviolet had an OG had a really good rookie opening weekend, impressing a lot of people. Hawk plays a lot of Doomfist, very heavily leaning into that Doom. The thing that I love about this team is that they play in the dark. You know, and they just look even more edgy E-boy. You know, like this is how I imagine me to play when I was younger. I would play video games in the dark with the monitor light on me. These guys are just doing it at like the highest level now. But yeah, it's funny to see. But this was actually a pretty good match. I think Atlanta Reign has a really solid roster. Nero impressed me on the Genji. Like, can't even remember how much Nero has played in Genji in the Overwatch League in the past. I don't think it's very much, but we all know he's a talented player. He's beaten me up and ranked plenty of times enough for me to know that he was going to be good. Same with honestly a lot of these players. So Atlanta Reign versus Natural Sunlight, who would win? Hey, well, in Hawaii, where the Natural Sunlight existed, they ended up making it to the grand finals. So, you know, maybe they just don't know the true power of the sun. Okay, also, we need to talk about this. Hawk kind of looks like Huck. Can we just agree to that? Hawk could be like Huck's little brother. Are we seeing this? Is this, other than just me? No? Come on. You cannot tell me that Hawk and Huck don't look somewhat similar. Not all white people look the same. I know that. Get a picture of Huck. All right, okay, let's while we do this, let me get two pictures up. Huck, Overwatch. All right. Okay, that's his generic picture that he used for everything where I don't see his face. Alright, let's get a young picture of Huck. And then we get Hawk. Hawk Overwatch. Alright, no, I'm right. Alright, look at this. Look at this, chat. So this is Hawk, right? This is Hawk. Great photo, looking great. Huck, like, they're pretty close. Like, I think it's the eyebrows and the hair. Like, you can't tell me this is not the same person. Racist? What? It's not racist. I'm just like, I'm not saying they look identical, but they're somewhat similar. It's a different person. Well, yeah, no shit, Johnny. It's a different person, but they look similar. I can see it. See, we got some people. We got some people on my side. Not now. All right, let's go to new Huck. Where's new Huck? I guess we don't really have many new photos of Huck anymore. Does look like Juby. You guys are gonna pull Juby out of all of this? No way.
He just needs to now prove himself on the big stage.
Alright, well, back to the serious analysis. But I kind of see it. I don't know. It was the first thing I saw.
The best hit scan players we have in the league, especially on things like Widowmaker.
Let us know, YouTube. Yeah, chat. Make sure to like this video if you think it looks like Huck. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't think it looks like Huck. And leave a comment below what your opinions are as well. Milk that sweet, sweet algorithm. Look at that.
I mean, take a look at how much hero damage overall that this player has been able to do per
Gonna downvote the video. No thumbs down. Alright, let's get into this game, by the way. Otherwise, we're gonna get off the rails.
The first day of the league this year, we've seen so many tanks, so many support comms, we've even seen a brig. Like, we're seeing a ton of DPS being utilized, and honestly, a lot less soldier than I thought we'd see, because soldier's been...
Go thumbs down this video.
Scrim, so I'm a little bit shocked we're not seeing more of him, but I love adaptations the teams have been doing. I would love...
Nero should change his tag to nerd. Why?
With this rather aggressive dive.
Yeah, share the video with your friends and make sure they also like and subscribe to the channel, you know? Perfect. All right. So the big thing about this match that I think is interesting is the Atlanta Reign and Hawk. We talked to Hawk after this match, and he said that he really likes the Doomfist pick against the Winston. He thinks the Doomfist is very good against the Winston because you have the hand cannon. You can do more, would say, bursty damage with your cooldowns and with your left clicks. Whilst Florida Mayhem seem to be playing a lot of this, like, you know, Lucio and a Winston for the most part, with a little bit of Roadhog spotted in. We saw little bits of Reaper get played throughout this week as well. I think Reaper is really good on maps like this where it's just going to be a close range brawl. But yeah, Atlanta Reign also seemed to really like playing the Genji while not playing a lot of Echo. So
it was definitely mentioned before, but you gain ult charge a little slower in Overwatch 2.
You do, and you can really feel that in some of the
good first win by Atlanta.
Especially when they're not.
Florida kind of got stuck in dark there and just like got caught in that choke, and they're never getting back out of that choke after that. Well, that's a good nade. That's a really good nade by Sermajed. I don't know if it's going to be enough though. Oops, Checkmate's cleaning up though. Yeah, I think that goes back to Sermajed's nade. Like, he hit 3, so that like really stopped the aggression.
He falls in the Florida Mayhem. They've bitten back. Hawk does have that meteor strike. There is a nano for the Florida Mayhem. Meteor strike.
Has anyone picked not Doom Winston yet? There was like on Circuit Royale, there's been a little bit of Sigma played. Some teams have played Zarya, like Dallas Fuel like to play Zarya with the Reaper. But for the most part, majority of it has been Winston or Doom Dive.
So is Reaper for Kai. Sermajed and Ultraviolet end up trading.
Hydron gets Ultraviolet again. Nanoblade. That Nanoblade should just close out this round, this fight. But Hawk uses the Doom ult as well, so. And this was something about the match I thought was really interesting. Like, Florida Mayhem actually looked good in this mirror. In this dive mirror where they play like the Reaper, Winston, Genji, they actually look quite solid. Yeah, it's just a free blade. Oh, he lived through the death blossom. Oh, Hydron uses his as well. Damn, Kai. Okay, I see.
Looking to win this fight someone. He didn't have too much of an impact. Got instantly.
Wait, so everyone picked Winston, honestly? Just Dante and Hawk that really rode the Doom train? Yeah, some people play Doom here and there. Like, we saw Fearless play a little bit of Doom. We saw Marvel play a little bit of Doom. Like, we did see Doom from other people. Just nowhere near as one tricky as the Houston Outlaws and the Atlanta Reign. Like, I don't think Hawk played any other hero, right? Same thing with Dante. Hawk played a little bit of Doom. Yeah, Reinhardt a little.
Hydron this time gets the better of Kai, but they still need to tussle on the point. Doomfist in this form, in this tank form, he is very hard to kill.
Marvel played really well on that Doom when he played it on Oasis for that like one map.
His ability to just escape any situation possible with his low cooldowns.
Checkmate's been kind of farming. Checkmate and someone's dive have been really good. Like Ultraviolet and OG have just been unable to live thus far. I think one of the big problems of this weekend Spectator is I feel like they need to do a better job of like following the Genji or the Winston. Feels like a lot of the times we miss a lot of the big things. Like someone dies before we've even really seen combat happening. So
Have enough time to do that though, because that percentage is ticking up to the point where we would be in last fight territory. We're just gonna see the nano used here. They've got to go now.
They have to go. Oh, nice deflect on the nade. Still lands on Nero. There's the beat.
oh, good beat by Animo. Doesn't save Hydron, but it saves Sermaged.
He's 15% away now.
Dude, Nero just cannot kill Sermaged.
Sermaged and Animo are staying alive as Hawk meets his demise.
Alright, Checkmate Blade. Yeah, Checkmate's been nice this round. Like his dives have been good.
For the rain, they've got Nero's blade, but they need to be able to touch the point. 3% to go as someone just bullies them off.
Dives hard to spectate, yeah. And obviously it's 5v5 and we're in a new meta and that kind of stuff. So I'm not like blaming them or saying it's a big problem. I just like, it definitely wasn't perfect. It would be awesome to see it get fixed for the upcoming weekend. My Checkmate song's literally been single holder for ages. Johnny's been trying to sell their fucking Checkmate songs forever. I don't think Checkmate, oh, okay. I don't think Checkmate was incredible this weekend, but yeah, it's Genji, like, at least on this round.
Such a good fight for the Mayhem as well, because
They should put him on Ryan, though. You know what they should do? Like, so, someone hasn't really had much Ryan experience in the Overwatch League, so maybe they should put Checkmate on Ryan whenever they want to play Brawl. At least I'm not broke. True. Honestly, everything we thought we knew coming into this weekend was just wrong. Like, all the Scrim bucks, all the meta compositions, everything. Like, we knew Genji Soldier was going to be prominent and Lucio Ana, but like, I didn't expect this much Winston get played at all. Hawk gets kind of bullied there. And I think this goes back to like the idea that like Doomfist can just get punished so easily. Like, I feel like Winston doesn't get punished as hard because he has his bubble. Well, it feels like sometimes Doomfist just goes in, he gets slept, and then it's just over, right? Like, there's no coming back from that. Ana just shits on Doom, yeah.
Easy to clean up after that. If you just CC the Doomfist, he's like old Doomfist in a way. You CC him, he's going to die pretty quickly.
For sure, and I think that the other thing about Doomfist is you still have to worry about how you use those mobility cooldowns. If you don't have anything to escape, then you're just kind of left out to dry.
Alright, before we get first cap.
But Kai trying to do as much damage on the point as possible.
Oh, I feel like that might have been a little too forced by Florida. Like, it didn't feel like there was a reason that they needed to go over the wall. It felt like they sort of walked into Atlanta's trap.
For the Florida Mayhem, Hydron is eventually
Ana plus Zen on the next match will make Zoom picks vanish. I don't agree with that. Because I think if you play Ana Zen, I'm a little worried you're just going to get run at. Like, I think Ana can struggle to keep Zen alive at times, but you might be right. I could see a world in which it's just the Ana Zen can like pocket each other and they can help and maybe, but I feel like the Lucio and the boops and the mobility and the fact of how hard it is to lock down a Lucio is just so valuable right now. Atlanta really like doing this as well. They really like doing just like the basic nano on the Genji, and then he just like dashes in and try and murders one target. Which I don't mind, because like Nano Visor is obviously great, but that's two big ults committed. And I think Nano Blade is just investing too much when I think you can do the same thing with almost a normal Blade. Just get one and get out.
Well, the other thing too is that Nero can just go in with the raw Dragon Blade because there's so much CC. Just try to get something done.
Meteor Strike, Nano Visor being used by Hydron, doesn't find any targets whatsoever. People are just running to the health pack.
You're okay, Tori. It's fine to have new players in your games. It wasn't a big deal.
A lot less healing for the Atlanta Rain. Nero, perfect dive synergy with Hawk, does manage to kill a couple.
GG's. It's ult percentage efficiency, yeah. With how long ults take to charge, I think comboing ults is a lot less valuable. Because ults are impactful, but if you use too many at once, you just like end up in this hole where your ult economy just goes to shit and you never really have ultimates to really close out fights. Yeah, you might have won that one fight, but Oh, OG gets checkmate. Checkmate has gotten a whole lot less this this round.
Response from Animo, but now they have to worry about Nero. Another beat this time on the Reign side.
Hydron wanted Kai there.
Point, but they can still attack once again. I mean, Hydron is dead. The Florida Mayhem just survived ever so slightly there. They were basically going to lose if they didn't get that flip. A Primal Rage is going to get used. It might just...
Alright, someone's primaling. Oh, yeah. Just gets slept and murdered. Their whole team is there.
Nero just trying his hardest to kill Checkmate, who didn't find any value with the blade. And now this is Nero's chance. A lot of Atlanta Reign are...
Soldier is so damn fast. Yeah, it's just so hard to catch up to him, right? That's one of the things that makes him so strong. Dude, that was such a gamble by Nero, dude. I was shocked he made it back on. I thought he was dead 100%.
He gets punched out of his bubble, quickly dispatched with a nano onto Kai. That perfect precision aim.
Clean round by Atlanta. It felt like Florida just like never really had any space in that round. And I think it's just they're getting a little impatient against the backline. I felt like Atlanta was playing a little bit slower. And every time Florida just tried to go, it fell apart. What do you think of Animo? Animo was fine. Like, Animo, I don't think he had any crazy impact, but I think his beats were fine and that kind of stuff. Like, he seems fine for the team.
I mean, like you were saying, Jaws, this Dragon Blade didn't even
I don't. They went up to the page to outright. Soldier still has the fast sprint. I'm not sure. We're not sure exactly what patch we're going to be playing on this weekend. Overwatch League hasn't really communicated that yet.
Whether it's through CC, from
Pilk Lover, thank you very much for 3 months. Pilk, hell yeah.
Just build up the blade and then use it when you feel like the time is right.
Right, same kind of comps. Man, I love Hawk sticking with...
Okay, we got a sim TP out. Then the soldier runs in. Makes sense.
Are fairly common. Animo's in trouble. Just runs back to the healing station, but OG chases him down. Purple lasted for...
Animo goes down first. Animo just got fucking rolled.
Atlanta Reign now have control. And this is the best spot for this composition to be in too.
That was not a close round. Like first fight.
Couldn't get the boop off, but Doom just hits that punch.
Insane the amount of insane sleeps. We've seen this already with it on extra cooldown. Annas this year are so nuts, yeah. And it's also just like Annas are thriving because you're in the opportunity in which big important sleeps can happen, right? There's Winston's, there's Doomfist, there's Genjis, right? Like there's a lot of cool opportunities that Annas get to flex and hit those big value sleeps, which is awesome, right? Like it's such a high playmaking thing. That's such a cool thing. And no divas, yeah. And no divas is a good example as well. Divas usually just eat that shit on cooldown. Oh, wow. Hydron got rolled.
Man, those Helix rockets. They were surprising amount of
I think I've seen OG. Yeah, I think OG had some of the highest impact on main support as well.
Well, Kai takes another one. Animo is dead, but Hawk, unfortunately, goes down in White Room. The Atlanta Reign can hold off for quite a while. Kai's done so much damage, Rose.
The question is like how long, like I want to see them perform against better teams, right? Like that's the big question for a lot of teams like Atlanta, like San Francisco Shockers. Like they obviously were dominant. They were different a lot of people and they looked the best, but you know, they were beaten up on weaker teams. Like Florida's not that weak of a team, but Boostio? Animo?
Okay. Doesn't even need it. I mean, he killed Kai. We'll take those any day of the week. Animo staying alive and Hydron cleaning up. Oh, yeah.
Double Boostio in a fight. When was the last time we saw a double Boostio in an Overwatch League match? Boostio's not awful. If you have a good Lucio, like Boostios can definitely do something. If it keeps them alive and then they can turn that around and do damage, it's not a bad nano.
Exactly. You just gotta force out that sound barrier. That's gonna be the biggest thing that the Atlanta Reign need to overcome in order
Chorong, Chio, and OG all look great. Yeah, I can agree with that. Chio didn't impress me that much. Like, he was fine, but oh, Kai just gets caught again. It's the second fight in a row that Kai just dies before the fight even starts. Hydron farming.
Winston can do whatever he wants, just walking away. Scott free, I mean, easy peasy cleanup as well. Just one sleep.
Who's the best Lucio? We're too early in the season to really know.
In Overwatch 2.
I'm sure if you ask like a general consensus of who do we think is going to be the best Lucio of the season, it's probably Lee J Gun.
Follow up on these people that are isolated.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen what has happened when Huck...
Shooting sleep darts never get removed. Would you, with all, do you think they should have some way to outplay it? Yeah, but I think almost every tank has a way to outplay it. Like Doomfist's mobility is one of his big things for avoiding the sleep, right? I don't think Doom's power block should absorb the sleep. I don't think that's a necessary thing right now. Oh, Chad, mate.
Hawk now following.
Yeah, that was a nice blade.
My goodness.
The checkmate Genji's kind of nasty.
They know they forced out the beat, but Nero didn't get anything done with his, and an easy clean up for checkmate. Atlanta Reign were inside their team. It was just super.
When does APAC start? APAC starts on the 20th, as far as I'm aware.
Exactly, and now Nero has to switch over to the Tracer in order to get back to point fast enough to touch, but also Sermajed has the Nano up. Florida Mayhem have so much sustain going into this final fight.
Oh, Nano goes on to Hydron. OG eliminated, and now he's just playing Gatekeeper. Ultraviolet in trouble. Can someone save him? Nope, not today. Healing
Wasn't the cleanest tracking, but he got the win.
another kill on to Nero.
The Hydron just farming.
Wipe the rain and take Lijiang Tower.
Woo! Florida Mayhem, first map win. This was when we were like, okay, Florida, we see you.
To definitely look
Let's
excited
go.
about that one. I mean, the Atlanta Reign, though, they put up a really good fight, but it just didn't feel like the ultimate synergy and rotation was quite there.
Someone's asking people to breathe. Oh, someone's so cute. I like someone a lot.
Oh man, I can only imagine the grin on
Oh, no,
someone's
Ruff.
face right now.
I was just
How many
thinking the
people
same
predict-
thing.
Why is the bitrate frame rate so bad for a recent hour match? Is it something to do with the beta? No.
That's good.
It is literally just on the production company that is running it. I believe something about how it is being broadcast to YouTube is having an issue. Hopefully it should be fixed this upcoming weekend.
Kind of thing, but sticking with Hawk.
The Hydra and someone handshakes are so cute, yeah.
I like it too. You know, while Atlanta Reign
The Hawk Doomfist pick kind of worried me out on that map. Yeah, but Hawk impressed me a lot on the Doomfist as time went on.
good chance to see if
It'll be interesting to see if Doomfist continues to stay in the meta, if it falls away, what other people are going to play, if it starts changing. Because you're going to see, now that everyone's seen everyone play, I think you're going to see the meta start to evolve. Because people start to like,
50 health, that is a
they get to
lot.
see publicly what was working, what wasn't working, that kind of stuff. In scrims, I feel like it can be very
But if
hard to come down to like a really good conclusion of what is good.
as well
So it'll be interesting to see if people start moving towards Winston. Some people start playing more Doomfist. Maybe Xayah gets a little bit more love.
Rollouts, but probably not.
Maybe more Echo than Genji. Like we saw a lot of things sort of evolve just over the basics of the weekend, right?
Getting rollouts done for every single map on new Doomfist. Maybe we'll see a little something of that a little bit later down the season.
Kai getting picked there shows the free flank farming with Proper and dismantling Paris London. With either aren't as easy as it looks. With that said, Proper was playing against Brawl though, like these rush Ryan comps. That's the way when Proper was doing a lot of flanking. If you try and do that against the Genji soldier, it's a lot easier to get isolated. Because a lot of people can catch you. While when they're playing that Ryan Brawl, there's a lot less people to catch you.
what the Reign have shown us so far, though. If you're playing something a bit more static, who do you actually jump on if you're gonna
So we're actually going to get the Ryan BAP from Sermajed and someone. So we're going to see Brawl. I was expecting to see more of this Ryan comp in OWL, but we only really saw the lower end teams play it, right? Like who played it? London,
on the Doom. Although one
London and Florida, the only two teams that come to the spring to mind who played the Brawl. Did anyone else play it this weekend?
Arnamo can provide is a little bit extraordinary. Lamp goes down. It does save Arnamo as he goes purple, but Ultraviolet also falls. They
Paris,
more for support.
yeah, Vancouver mirrored London on it, but that didn't fill me with any confidence or that they wanted to play that.
Backed out for the first point.
Paris, did Paris play it? I don't remember Paris playing it.
5% towards that meteor strike. Someone is a little bit powerless in a lot of these cases because Kai's taking an off angle.
Most teams seem to play their comfort picks, and for the most part, it seemed to come down to which players were better. Yeah, and it absolutely wasn't compositions. Like I don't think there was like a lot of big comp diffs in this upcoming weekend because like when the meta's so unsolved and it looks a lot less refined, I don't think the composition matters, right? Like it's not like it's who gets more out of this composition. I think it's more about how individual players are playing.
that Doomfist and Genji provide.
Like, I don't think there is a drastic enough difference between Winston and Doomfist right now to be able to say one is better than the other. If anything, I think it comes down to how good your Doomfist player is
When you 1v1 May
and how comfortable they are in comparison to the Winston players.
in the Rose, just holding on to this choke point. Someone does get slept. Hawk goes right over the top, back to his team. Hydron just on this perma flank. Oh, does spot out Kai.
We saw a lot of teams actually have a lot of success playing the rush, especially on the defense, because you can choose the tempo of when to go in so easily that it becomes really hard for you to cross and get that second point. If I remember correctly, Atlanta struggles here for a bit. Like, they're having to use so many ults to just get it through the choke, right?
For Kai as he runs around the back. The nano's applied, but that's shield from someone is still really good at negating a lot of that damage. Unfortunately, though,
Just pure chaos on the soldier, Pulp.
Finish off the rest of the Mayhem. And the
Hydra on Gigafed there? Yeah, I think he thought he was getting chased, and then he like jumped into the open. Like,
just to be able to kite around some of the Florida Mayhem and be able to get those
Tracer really seemed to bother someone. Because I think if you're gonna play like the Genji Doom or Echo Doom, I feel like Tracer just runs around for free. You know what I mean? I feel like the Tracer just has so much freedom to just exist.
That is something that the Mayhem are going to have to turn around and start paying attention
May feels really weird this system. I like the May against. Ooh, someone murders OG here. I thought this was so funny. Let's watch that again. Look at OG just get bodied. Just turns the corner and someone just murders him. Yeah, I like the May in the Rhine mirror, right? Because the wall offers so much, but I don't really like the May in any other situation. Like, I don't like the May, Rhine May, against the Doomfist Genji soldier. Like, I don't think the May offers enough.
More difficult it is for the Mayhem to really control this space. Like, under this bridge,
was this both their first matches? Yeah.
CC or the amount of, I should say, boops really from the rain can put someone in a bit of a sticky situation. Does have the tank.
You can see how hard it is for Atlanta Rain to cross and just get space, and this was a consistent theme for a lot of different maps.
Especially if Ultraviolet decides to.
Isn't Ryan May good on Lijiang even versus Dive? On certain, yeah, in certain situations. I don't know if I agree with that in Overwatch 2, but at least in Overwatch 1, absolutely. Because anywhere in which you can just like force the opposition team to come into you that then allows you to speed into them is like valuable, right? Anywhere in which you can force the teams to bash heads against each other. Ryan May is very good.
A little win. The payload is slowly inching its way back. The rain, they have the blade.
Oh man, I'm tired.
Just waiting for that nano is probably the order of the day.
It's gonna be tough to use.
Nah. Hawk goes up, Hawk goes down.
Mayhem, while they're gonna be taking control of this high ground. Where does Nero go from here?
Oh, Nero.
Oh my goodness, like
that was a very good blade by Nero. That's Visor and blade though. I feel like you generally want to split those up. Like, they obviously didn't need the Visor. Maybe Kai didn't know that because he didn't expect Nero to get 2 kills. But yeah, it definitely hurts when you lose both of your offensive ultimates. Where the hell was the B? Yeah, actually, no, that's a good question. I wonder if they're too spread out for that. Oh, dude, that nade is just so enormous. Look at this again and just watch the nade from Ultraviolet. Someone drops the shield at the wrong second, hits 5 people, and Nero's just like, hold my beer. Gets the nano, just murders everyone. That was a clean 5k as well, right?
Okay. There's the smile that I wanted to see. Forget map number 1.
Yeah, Animo needs to have beaten in either of those last 2 fights. Someone didn't drop the shield. Did he throw it on the wall above him? I think maybe that's what happened. I don't like that Hydran got out there as well. Like, it feels like bad calling by Florida. Like, they should, like, it feels like they're gonna lose the first fight as well, just on the back of, like, trying to contest that. Seems like Atlanta's willing to back up, though.
Nero definitely earned that blade. And especially just on top of that, too, that angle is so nasty. Nero had the full sight beyond that Reinhardt shield, and will have that blade up and running with the cell barrier.
Good beat by OG. That was a good beat. I don't know how Checkmate does. I think he got punched off the map, but that was a good beat by Animo as well. Someone gets Nero.
Does end the blade and Nero. The Atlanta Rain are still fighting at the gates, but someone's going to get taxied back. A nice little punch onto someone, but he does lay down.
Oh, good shatter.
Hawk also not having a good enough time. Someone's shatters have been really impactful so far.
Someone's just ruined Hawk's day with that.
So good. And I feel like it's so rewarding as a Reinhardt also.
Nero bladed? Oh yeah, I guess Nero bladed there as well. Did someone how did someone pin him? With the blade, actually. Let's go back. Nero blades? We don't really see what happens here, but he gets pinned. In the blade, he gets pinned. That was actually such a sick play by someone.
And I feel like it's so rewarding as a Reinhardt also with that new kind of critical hit mechanic.
Nero lol.
You hear such a satisfying sound when you do end up just hitting someone out of the park with one shot. Ah, satisfying.
Speed boost, then Blizzard. Already the Atlanta Rain are behind the Florida Mayhem. Anti onto someone, doesn't do all too much, and someone now trying to...
Is the soldier visual bug gone? Which visual bug was that?
Using the Blizzard to, I guess, gets corralled.
I really don't like Blizzard in this meta as well. Like, the problem with the Ryan May is I feel like Blizzard is just never going to catch anyone. Literally everyone can get out of there, except for, like, the Ana.
The Florida Mayhem.
But if the Ana has a Blizzard dropped on top of them, then they're kind of fucked anyway. It's already over.
This blade with the nano in just a second.
Oh, the gun, yeah, where it's like you look like you're in permanent sprinting mode. Yeah, I think they fix it in the upcoming beta.
As Ultraviolet builds up towards that nano, someone is just swinging for the fences, but unfortunately, Nero's blade was a little bit sharper. A nano and a
That was an important fight for Atlanta to win. They won it without using a single ult. Florida's not going to get an ultimate for the start of this fight. If Atlanta just like nanos Nero in and then he gets some good dashes, pulls the blade.
What else do they have?
Isn't Blizzard more like Mines and Overwatch? Should just area denial? Yeah, absolutely.
That you pointed out, and now the sound barrier as well.
nano blade straight to the back. There's the immortality field gone. The ice block unfortunately still can't be cut through, but Nero.
Yeah, like, that was just really well played by Atlanta. Just wait for them to go in, pull the nano blade. Nero doesn't try and do too much with it. Just clean. Dude, Nero's right click's just fucking filthy on the Genji.
Next attack, if they get one, of course. The Florida Mayhem, though, with a stalwart.
Except Mines last 25 seconds. Yeah, did they nerf that? Did they nerf the duration of Mines at all going into Overwatch 2? I don't think so, right?
Florida Mayhem put together. The Reinhardt really great, as well as the May to provide so much support, whether it was
Yeah, thank you very much, Classy Lungs.
to block people off from the Atlanta Rain from being able to support each other.
Don't think so. Yeah, I don't think they did change the duration of Mines either. I think that'd be a good change. Like, I just think they last for an unreasonable amount of time.
Florida Mayhem, it's their turn to attack.
I'm going to need a replay for that. That Nero.
All I know is I've died to Mines, got back on Ryan, and then died to Mines again. Oh, yeah. A true classic. Yo, Adam, thank you for the 18 months.
Quite quickly. All right, okay. I like it. I'll have to get confirmation on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the first one.
How much Wrecking Ball got played this week? Wrecking Ball was actually disabled from the Overwatch League for this upcoming weekend because there was a pretty game-breaking bug. But I believe he should be available in this upcoming weekend. I believe it has been fixed. So,
Oh my goodness. From almost 0 ult charge as well up to 50. Like, that feels so good. All right, let's have a look at the defense. The Atlanta Rain going the same kind of thing. It's good to see them just kind of.
am I the only one who hates whenever Doom gets played in it? No, I like Doom. I thought Doom was pretty good. And I think Doom is a fun, cool hero right now.
We're gonna play, and Hawk has been doing a fairly good job on the Doomfist. Someone's had a little bit of a tough time.
Majed, your stats are crazy. 9.6. Sheesh.
Status have been good, but
So
this
Majed pumping the heels.
Winston
Nero hyping up Majed up.
Hydron with the jump, with the miss, and a quick change.
Someone switching over
We
to
talked about this yesterday, I think. I think it was in a VOD as well, that like we're hoping that in the future we'll be able to see the scoreboard. It'd be really cool at halftime if they could just like find a way to show the scoreboard in game, just so we can see damage and healing numbers, right? Like I feel like that would give so much to the game of like you'd be able to look at the numbers and actually get a good representation of who was doing damage, who was doing healing and stuff like that.
So low. No, and a Helix rocket from downtown does anything.
Like they could even make it like its own spectating scoreboard where it's like it shows what heroes were played by that person as well. That's a good spot for Hydron to be in. This is actually a really clean dive. It felt like Atlanta just got forced back into the corner right there.
Nibbing a soldier with that healing station on top of that, yeah. Basically impossible.
Hydron looking clean, big fan. Hydron looked pretty solid this weekend.
Record time.
I don't think he looked as dominant as some of the other DPS players, but he looked solid.
with that, so you didn't have as much DPS as you would have wanted to be on the field. But also, look, Kai switched over to the Reaper, so now Reaper is here to play, and I really like.
My favorite hero is the Reaper, guys. I didn't remember Atlanta playing this much Reaper. What heroes did Kai play this weekend? It was like Reaper, Soldier. Did he play anything else? I don't think I remember him playing any Widow.
Hydron's already dead. Wow. Very classic.
Oh, someone down.
Did you trade
Someone's gonna get traded eventually, but that's honestly not too bad for Florida.
really need to
Oh, unless Checkmate dies. Oh, wow, rude.
you diving in as the Winston. That was a really nice punch. That empowered punch does.
Hydron was a lot more flexible than I thought. It felt like a Tracer one trick in contenders. Yeah, I'm excited to see more from Hydron. I think Tracer is definitely his best hero. I think, but he's going to be expected to play. Oh, well, like maybe that's not even a problem for the Florida Mayhem because I was going to say he's probably expected to play the hit scan, but that's not true anymore, right? Like they have Exy. I think if anything, it'll be on Exy to play that Widow. Anytime we end up in a hit scan meta, Exy will be the one to play it. That's an unfortunate time for them to put up a beat. His Widow's solid, yeah. But like, would you say his Widow's better than Exy's? I guess we don't really have an answer to that question right now.
Another power-up punch being locked in for Hawk, but he has to escape to the rest of his team. Someone going pretty low.
It's really interesting to see how flexible these pros are. Not just flexible playing. Oh yeah, no, like pretty much all our players can play other heroes at a very, very high level. Obviously not super high, but yeah.
The Atlanta Reign are still up. And Hydron just has to sneak away.
We haven't seen Exy play for 2. Yeah, like, and that's the thing to remember. I think some people have these unreasonable expectations for Exy. It'll be really interesting to see where he's what level he's playing at when he actually gets in. Kai, that was just so early. I don't know why Kai did that. Ooh, he very almost fell off the map after getting slapped.
3 of the Mayhem were just surrounding him. A team kill for the.
Did Exy play at all Nasties? No, he retired before the season started due to a personal injury.
10% away for the Reign.
Pretty close. And we need to see this Nano Blade do something. But Animo has the response.
I kind of miss Tracer as a meta pick. I'm okay with Tracer not being meta like that much, right? We've seen so much Tracer in the history, and we're going to see more Tracer at some point. Oh, good beat by Animo. Nero's got the blade though. Checkmate did a lot with that though. This is a really good boop. They show it later. Animo gets a really good boop on Nero here. Nero kind of fucks the climb back up, but it was still a good boop. I like watching Exy, but he really only looked good on Cass and Widow. Yeah, he was really that hit scan player. I don't know how good his Tracer is. Like, I don't expect him to come in and play the Tracer, especially over Hydron. But yeah, we'll see. Animo's looking his best this season. Yeah, I think I actually kind of like what I've seen from Animo thus far. And, you know, I'm not usually a big Animo fan. But he definitely looked he looked good today so far in this weekend's matches.
Reduced damage when he has that block up, but he was...
Hey, Tracer was pretty good. Yeah, but when I'm saying, like, I don't think you can get away with a pretty good Tracer. Like, I feel like if Exy plays Tracer, it's not the end of the world, but I think they'd want to have Hydron in if they're going to play the Tracer, you know?
Already going up to the spawn doors, can just juggle them back into spawn.
Big stick, but Meteor Strike to avoid all of that damage. Surmajet goes down. Florida Mayhem are losing a lot of their healing. Animo's the only one left, but he's purple. Can keep the rest of the team alive as someone uses that Primal Rage to knock OG senseless. The Reign have spawn advantage as someone pops out of Primal, goes down to Nero, and Kai's survivability on the Reaper guy is going to keep him alive and well on the point. It's going to be a
good old Reaper guy.
Mayhem.
I feel like Florida should switch back to Brawl. They're going to do it. Yeah, I think they go back to Ryan here. I think the Ryan can be really good. They do. I do like the Reaper versus it though. Like Kai, I feel like just is doing so much work. Bastion meta when? I think the problem with Bastion is that he's just like when he enters wheel mode, he's just so killable. Like you just run at him. I feel like with a lot of heroes, and he might just fall over. Oh, yeah, but it... Wow, that was a great beat by Animo, Dan. That was on the edge. Unfortunately, not going to be enough to turn the fight, is it, maybe? Yeah, that was a really good... Animo's beats this match have been really good so far. Oh, checkmate gets Kai. Surmajet gets Nero. Not bad, not bad.
It used to be right up on top of that point, but now there's a touch chance for the Reign. Nero and Hawk do end up respawning as OG goes fairly low, but kept alive by Ultraviolet. Not for long though.
Smart play by checkmate, walls himself up onto UV.
And finally, the Florida Mayhem with Rhyme.
Florida Mayhem popping off. And this is what we were talking about. Like, some people are like, oh, Florida didn't win a match. They're actually really close to Atlanta. Like, I think they kind of boomed themselves out of Watchpoint Gibraltar. But, like, this map on Eichenwald was incredibly close. They won the first map. Ike was really close. Like,
Atlanta Reign did a pretty good job.
This Mayhem team is pretty nice. And the thing is, like, it's not even like they're... Like, I think when they play straight up, they're good, right? Like, they're literally playing straight up against the Atlanta Reign. And playing, like, equivalent to them. And that's a big boon for Florida Mayhem. It's not like they're playing... like a weird comp or something. They're just like, feels like they're counter comping. It literally just feels like they're outplaying them at times. I think Florida Mayhem's going to have a lot of fans by the end of the season. They also have a lot of personality. Like, I like someone. I think Hydron has a good personality. I think Kariv's on the team. So much Ed seems like an interesting dude. Like, I just like their roster. Exy.
as
Oh, this was the boot by Animo, by the way, onto Nero.
back whenever he shoots somebody.
Nero's nano-bladed, and he tries to climb the wrong wall. If he had gone for that real wall originally, he would have made it
A little
up.
bit of payback from earlier from getting the first five.
Gravy, yeah, and like Gumbo and Gravy, yeah, have personalities.
Yeah, Nero.
Hydron is handsome. Is that enough for me? Is Hydron the new simp? Is that who everyone's simping over these days? The Overwatch League fans? Are we on the Hydron hype train?
Really need to kind of get it right the first
Florida feels like
time.
last year's Atlanta. Yeah, I can see that. That's a good comparison.
It is not typically enough to be able to build up to ultimates, which
They're gonna be bricked up by the end of the season.
over the edge, but you can see Kai
I want to see checkmate on Ryan again. Hey, that makes one of us.
able to get up into a
I'm good.
position where
I've seen enough, Chad, mate.
Ryan shield to really do some damage.
Yeah, I guess the
Forgot Adam was on this team. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we see how much we see Adam play. I don't think we'll see him much unless we end up in like a Diva or a Sigmata. They seem pretty happy with someone on the team, and I don't blame them.
lamp has been popped.
But Adam's got to play his role.
Ultraviolet.
Or Hydron gets UV. Ultraviolet was in fucking Narnia there.
Up after this, Surmashad and Animo go down.
Yeah, they just didn't get the picks there, Florida. That was a really good counter dive by Atlanta Reign. They just sort of baited them in.
Surmashad instinctively used that lamp to try and survive in that
Individual skills way more important. Yeah, absolutely. I like maybe in the future that'll be false, but right now with the way 5v5 is being played,
good.
individual gameplay is like king. Like having a really good flex support is super important. Having a really good main tank is really important. Having a really good Genji is really important, right? Like I think strategy will probably, there'll be more strategy in the game as time gets on and we start to solve the game more and it'll become less chaotic, I think probably. It'll still be chaotic, but I think there'll be more method to the madness. But for right now, it's definitely very chaotic and individual skill is, very much trumping other things.
For eternity, there's the visor and the blade. Can it get damage done?
Visor!
There's Nero with
Nero?
two kills.
Alright. Once again, closing out the fight with a blade and a visor.
Two DPS ultimates, one in the front line, one in the back line to dismantle the Mayhem. And they get the payload round this
Sip over
first corner,
something.
but the Florida Mayhem, they've got
A huge anti, yeah.
might have that beat as well.
Have teams adjust to the tank role? I think people have adjusted to the tank role in very different ways, right? There are some teams that are playing like behind their off tank, some teams that are playing towards just playing main tank and playing a lot of Winston. It's kind of interesting, and I think it'll continue to evolve as time goes on.
Nice meteor strike. There's the slam. Doesn't quite kill.
Oh, almost got Hydron with that one.
Always the blitz.
C9? Oh.
Rough. Really rough. I thought Hulk maybe had a touch.
Obviously the May ult's on there, so it's kind of hard to say that's a C9, but it was definitely a forced error. Let's go with a forced C9.
They step off.
So hoping for more Xayah. I think Xayah had pretty good success in the league this weekend. I think Dallas Fuel made it look the best with their like Xayah Reaper comps. But maybe that's just Hanbin being a boss.
He's seeing Florida Mayhem going 2-0 in this series already.
What do you think about tanks rosters? Teams with two. I think teams with two tanks is very important.
Desk is gonna be pretty quiet about that one. Apart from
I think it's I think there are some teams which are getting caught out with like only one tank and wanting to do different things, right?
Florida Mayhem will definitely go with what they know worked the first time. It's up to the Atlanta Reign to respond. Florida Mayhem, though, on that defense, they made...
Hambu will make Xayah mana by manifesting. I wouldn't be surprised if in the APAC region they're playing a lot of Xayah. I would not be surprised at all. They do love their Xayah.
Maybe that'll work.
False being stuck on Winston, yeah. I don't like to talk bad, as I always say, but yeah, I think False was... If I was talking about a tank that I think struggled the most, I think False did really struggle to play that Winston this weekend.
Up to both of those players to really find that opportunity.
And I almost think Vancouver would benefit from having False play like a diva, kind of like Boston punked it on Boston, than forcing him to play the Winston.
Seismic slam.
Or have False play the Xayah or something like that.
That's pretty nice. You can get some crazy, like, wacky Farah kills if you're quick enough. He's just seeing what they're running with out of spawn, get a bit of extra.
How before the next generation of tank players rise who just play 3 or 4 tanks, not in relation to off tank, main tank? I think we'll get eventually to a point in which the best tanks in the world will be able to play everything. And that'll be a slow eventual change as people are expected to have more versatility in their kit. Obviously, we're in the opening weekend of Overwatch 2 and 5v5 where there's only one tank. So I don't think that expectation is there right now, but it will be in the future.
They're not too worried
No, Orissa's the only tank we never saw at all.
Soldier will be fine, but okay.
And Wrecking Ball, but Wrecking Ball was
A
out.
little bit too much damage.
But no one really played any Orisa.
Yeah, it's a lot of poke, and the Florida Mayhem definitely want to be healthy for this next engage, but that also buys so much time for Huck to be able to get back into this.
Houston has an issue with having Piggy, then Dante clearly shows it doing what other team can easily adjust. Yeah, and that'll be the question of how Houston adjusts off of that. Obviously, a one-on-one weekend where you play against, who did they play against? They played against Toronto and Dallas. Like, that's not bad. A one-on-one weekend when you play Toronto and Dallas, obviously you would have expected them to lose to Dallas and beat Toronto, but honestly, one-on-one's not bad. But, you know, obviously they need to build on the play that we saw from them this weekend.
Nano boost coming online, maybe we'll see that nano visor once again. And then the Atlanta Rain, Ultraviolet, also has that nano boost, and we've seen that just kind of gifted over to Nero to be able to get that Dragon Blade.
On Nero he is, Antin in a big sleep onto Sir Marged, couldn't do anything. Nero gets chased down, in fact, yep, there's the visor. Nano wasn't quite built up quick enough, but Nero and Hawk fall first for the Rain. Kai chases down Hydron, but this should be an easy cleanup for the main.
Animo gets both backliners?
Somehow still alive. There's the tactical
Falls out visor, which is a big deal, right, by Florida. But they need to get back in. Feels like Florida kind of dropped the spaghetti on this attack. It felt like they just walked Sir Marged into glass over and over and over again and just kept letting him get picked. Like, once again, Sir Marged is isolated. Not a great beat by Animo. If he hit Sir Marged with that, it would have been sick. But I guess he's also the one touching the point. Checkmate? Dude, the more I watch this game, the more I'm impressed with Checkmate. I think Checkmate and Animo, honestly, two players that I don't think a lot of people were super excited about for the Florida Mayhem, impressed me the most in this match. Like, both Checkmate and Animo, I had some really good moments.
Are coming with so many ultimates, and this is where I think it gets really tough for the Atlanta Rain to defend this payload. Someone with the Primal Rage going to be able to just juggle people away.
Animo took his ankle weights off. Were his ankle weights like the Soul Dynasty?
That flank is insane. What an extra load of damage with
Oh!
nice lot of deflection.
Dude, he was one slash away from murdering the entire team. If he gets that second slash off, there's a world in which they just fucking win this map outright. Good beat by OG. Very early, though, actually. Maybe less so impressed. Run, Hydron, run! Good kill by Kai. Yeah, I also don't know if I like that Nano Blade from Checkmate before. We're gonna go back and we're gonna have a look at it. Yeah, they're just getting bled out. Atlanta Rangers had the beat and the blade for that. All right, let's go back, right? I feel like this blade might have been too ambitious. Yeah, obviously it's a sorry, it wasn't a nano blade, just a naked blade. I think even if he wiped everyone there, like maybe it would have led to a snowball in which they don't get a proper contest at all for the second fight. But dying there without OG having to use the beat, and then Ultraviolet will be back eventually, right? Like, I don't hate the play by Checkmate, but I think there were safer decisions, right?
They can go with the beat and the blade, but they still have to be worried about someone's primal rage.
Should Blizzard create a dedicated scrim mode for our teams instead of custom games? What's wrong with custom games?
Just disrupt Nero's day. They end up using
They have a really good workshop mode. Scrims have a really good workshop mode these days that allow them to like speed up the way it works and like reduce the downtime, stuff like that. Thoughts on Hydron's play? I think Hydron played pretty well this weekend. He was fine. I don't think he was like super impressive. But I think he was solid. Close. Atlanta Rain hanging on by the skin of their teeth.
Something that the Atlanta Rain did so well was not only just be able to piggyback off of the abilities coming in from their support lineup in Ultraviolet and OG.
Yeah, and I think Agree brings up a good point. Soldier is a very hard role to know how good someone is doing. Because it's like, it feels like they just naturally get a lot of value. And it's hard to really know like who's doing the best, especially because we don't see the numbers, right? I think if we saw the damage numbers on the screens like at halftimes and at the end of maps, we would be able to be like, oh wow, like Kai is doing way more damage than Hydron or something like that. But we don't see that. And like a limbs and deaths.
if you can.
All right, Watchpoint Gibraltar. Let's see and talk about this. Florida Mayhem get a little silly here.
Stay in the roster. No data yet.
A little ambitious with their composition. From someone on the Roadhog. I will remind people that we played with someone in Overwatch 1, and he told us, we went back and looked at it. He was ranked 1 and 2 in the Korean ladder playing Roadhog in like season 25. So someone is a very good Roadhog, but that doesn't mean you can play Roadhog. Just because you're a good Roadhog doesn't mean you should play Roadhog. Hydron and someone I think really struggled in this attack to get anything done, and we'll just watch it.
Now that Doomfist is in that tank role.
Yeah, just that slow can be so impactful from the side.
The best worst tank is still a bad tank, exactly.
A couple of times when I've been, I don't know, a tracer or someone just trying to run away, and then the Size 6 man just hits the ground near me, and I'm just like flat on the floor, or I end up getting slowed.
Show maps or stats during the halftime? Yeah, I think they should show maps. I think they should show the map stats. I think after halftime, like during the break, they should show the stats, and then at the end of a map, they should show the stats.
Oh no, maybe not. Maybe he's staying on the Widowmaker. Okay, love this. Maybe Kai switches over. That would be a nice duel. Hydron, rookie. Kai, a veteran.
Love getting a chance to see the Widowmaker, and also Jaws. Hawk.
Okay. The patch notes that were released today are not in full effect yet, so we are actually seeing a Hog. I am rather surprised still, especially
I wish viewers had a mini-map. No, I don't think you need a mini-map. I think mini-maps are very confusing with how much high ground exists in Overwatch. I don't think there needs to be a mini. I just think stats would be interesting to show.
Help you if you're just purple. Ultraviolet being able to hit those.
All right, so
bio grenades also. Someone's gonna have a lot of trouble here if that happens.
someone trying to move. So move my mouse. Oh, sorry.
Just the punch will knock him out of the breather.
Someone not really offering a lot. I don't know how OG died here. He just gets isolated quite badly. This should be a pretty good opening for Florida, but like, here's the problem with the Roadhog Widow comp. Is like, you can get as many picks as you want, but if you can't close out a fight by getting more picks, you just lose, right? You need to get 3 picks. The Widow and the Roadhog need to get 3 picks on their own, but someone just gets isolated in PC. Hydron doesn't get the pick, so even though they get the initial pick for almost free, they just can't close it.
Also gonna have to do some escaping. Just need to get out of there, or just get a quick reset. But Florida Mayhem being able to escape up to that bridge high ground will be able to help them reset as they wait for Animo and Sermaja to get back into a good position. Hydron as well being able to take.
Who do you think third or first person views is better for the viewing experience? First person views, 100%. I don't think third person views are very good at all. Unless you mean free cam, where they're like flying around and overhead. I think there's valuable times for overhead, but for the most part, I think first person is the best.
Although Hawk can meteor strike on top of the Widow if the Hydron doesn't have grapple, so that could be.
Free cam can be difficult to get the value. Hawk just gets murdered. And that's fundamentally one of the biggest issues with Doomfist right now in this meta, is that sometimes you go in, you just get slept and turbo feed, right? Like, how does UV kill Sermaja? Oh, this is when UV killed everyone, actually. There's a lot of replays of this. This was a sick play by UV.
Well, in the server room. Goodbye, Hydron. See you later, son. Nice. That's what I want to see. Ping spam on dead bodies? Yes, please.
UV pop-off time.
I do love the ping system.
UV
I like
fucks.
seeing what the players are also looking at, and so you get a chance.
Should have been Florida's fight to win. Oh, yeah.
Maybe going
I think Sermajed's positioning has been a little interesting, and I don't know if it's the fault of Sermajed or the Florida Mayhem team, but the same thing happened on their attack on Eichelwald. It feels like Sermajed is just in fucking the most random spot getting run down by like Hawk and Nero, and it feels like he's like unsavable.
Not sure any support's going to say no to that. There's the meteor strike. Both DPS.
Very early Doomfist ult by Hawk.
Looks like Hawk wanted to actually just get out of there rather than using that offensively. Nanoblade for the Florida Mayhem.
He hit a hook. Yo, let's go someone. Yeah, like someone, like, is that like the only hook he's hit so far? Like, we haven't seen a single impactful hook from someone. Someone's just existing, and then eventually they decide, okay, we can kill the hog now, and someone dies.
And someone gets focused down rather quickly. Nero in the side, big nade, but this time it's Sermaje.
Oh, and they nano Animo to try and say it. Like, yeah, that, like, Checkmate uses the blade there. Sermajed uses the nano, I think, trying to hit Checkmate with the nano blade, and then it hits Animo. Like, it's just... It's just not good. Like, this was by far the worst attack or the worst half that we saw a team play this weekend. Like, it just made no sense. Animo doesn't get to a single rally. I'm pretty sure he dies before he uses the rally as well. Oh no, he gets the rally off. All right, never mind. And then someone plays Winston eventually. Nano's Nero, and just Nero just pulls the blade, murders. Yeah, this was a bit of a yikes from me, dog.
Classic game of Gibraltar. It's not over just yet.
Like right now, if they did round 1 complete and then they showed that instead of showing like maybe after this screen, after it goes round 1 complete, instead of doing like shots like this, if they showed the scoreboard for like 20 seconds, I hear, during this Assemble Your Heroes duration, I think it'd be super sick. Like, I think that would help so much with the viewing experience. And I think it would be really interesting to see.
No, it definitely still feels like that. There are a few small, like, map changes, for example. There are some barricades that have been added, like on... We might not see it. Well, I guess, yeah, we...
Can they do the scoreboard with this in the background? Yeah.
Point C, there is some barricades up on the high ground. If you're the attackers, you can hide behind... Not...
Make land angles, a huge pick potential there for high.
I've heard it's not visible. Yeah, but like, you know, like this isn't a me blaming Overwatch League or Overwatch League should do this. This is Team 4, who are the developers. If you're going to put a scoreboard in the game, they need to give it to the spectators, and the spectators should have access to this scoreboard, and they can make it look really good. You could do a spectator scoreboard really nicely, and it should be one of those things on the list. Maybe we don't get it this year, but maybe next year when the game, like, hopefully is fully released, it exists.
High on the Tracer, Nero on the Genji.
Power up punch, now you have to be careful. Wow, Hydron takes care of Kai pretty easily.
Still a work in progress? Yeah. Like, it's... Remember, this game is in beta. These are all new things, new additions that are being added to the game, right? Like...
Does make it a little bit tougher.
Alright, so this should be pretty easy for Atlanta. They're just going to play their usual normal comp. Kai's preferring to play the Tracer over the Widow. Maybe just not liking the pick potential. Like, I don't know if I love Widow on attack here. Like, if anything, I prefer it on defense. Because it, like, makes the attack so much thing. But I think the attack, you really, like... You need your DPS to have more consistent damage, and I feel like Widow just doesn't provide that. You're putting too much pressure on the Widow to just hit shots.
Some of the changes to Winston as well. It's not just the Tesla cannon anymore. You can kind of fire up some
You gotta be
energy.
careful. Kai's right next to you. Man, that was close.
Hydron's
Good recall
okay.
by Kai there. Big anti.
Hydron's alright. Big anti's coming through for sure. Sermajid also looking for an opportunity to use this nano boost.
I mean, they're so close to Blaze, 20% away. Ultraviolet goes down. There's the nano.
Good nano. Well, they nano and Hydron kills too. Well, shit.
Oh, there you go. I guess you earned the blade, I suppose, but Hydron had already clicked on people's heads. I mean, that's just having a Widow on your team, right? Okay, we're gonna go in. We've got ults.
Do you actually believe in hero balance for next year? It seems like they're so off with hero balance. Really? I don't think the balance is bad at all.
Let's be real.
Like, I think the balance is, if anything, is really good. Like, what do you think is the most imbalanced? I think supports are really interesting right now. I would say the most imbalanced because of the passive and how it's changed. But otherwise, like, I think all the tanks are really balanced. Some things are really good in pro play, some aren't. I think the DPS are all really interesting and they could be changed at the drop of a hat. Ana's the biggest balance problem right now. Yeah, I can see that. Like, I think Ana's just really good in the way that the game is played. But also remember, like, there's a big difference between balance between the casual game and the Overwatch League, right? Like, the Overwatch League, like, no one really plays Winston in casual thing, and everyone's playing Orisa, and Orisa's really sick and ranked, or like in the casual game mode. But Orisa didn't get a single minute worth of play in the league, right? So I think in the casual game the balance is way better, but I think in Overwatch League it needs a little bit of work.
2-1 up in the series, match point. Question mark?
For the ring.
Okay. Oh, you guys didn't see that. Sorry. Nero just hit everybody with a question mark and then a lot. There you go. 2 and 1.
Atlanta Reign get the win. That was pretty easy. Like, they literally just waited for an ult cycle and went forward. That's just literally that whole map is just on how bad that decision was to play Roadhog on attack. You know, I think McGravy came out in a tweet after it and said, like, trolled on Roadhog in my first match of coaching. And, you know, like, I feel like that's one of those ideas that like, Roadhog strategy has probably worked in scrims at some point, and they're like, it's a cool pocket pick idea. And if it had worked, it would have been cool. But when it doesn't work, it looks bad. And that was one of those situations. Nadling, yeah, I can see Nade needing a longer cooldown. I could absolutely see they in the most recent patch they reduced the duration of purple, which I thought was a cool change. Like, it doesn't need to be 4 seconds, right? Like, that feels like way too long. So I thought that was a good change, but maybe increasing the duration of the cooldowns as well is a good one.
And just all of the different ways that this composition really works together.
I think a sleep hitbox could use hiding. I don't know, it's hard. It was 3-2, I think.
Targets to hit with those bio-nades. Now, don't get me wrong, Ultraviolet
sure, why not?
still hitting some nasty bio-nades, but all of these pieces of the puzzle coming together form a pretty nice picture if you are the Atlanta Reign.
Yeah, has been looking really good. We talked.
Imagine your first Widow duel and it's against Arns. Yeah, Victoria kind of got bodied by Arns. It wasn't close.
Coming in with a rookie support line in OG and Ultraviolet, but Kai, Nero, and Hawk, they've been around for quite some time. And it's like a seamless transition, it feels like, for Ultraviolet and OG.
Anna always going to be strong with purple and sleep, yeah. But I think, here's my thing. I don't think they should nerf Anna. Like, maybe nerf some of her cooldowns and stuff like that. I think they need to give more characters more utility. Like, I think they should reduce Mercy and Moira's numbers a little bit and just give them something extra. You know what I mean? Like, if they gave Moira, like, some utility ability, or Mercy some, like, push ability or something like that, that'd be really cool. But reduce their numbers so that they're not just, like, heal bots or damage bots, and give them a little bit. So then everything feels more in line with Anna, where it feels like you have playmaking potential, right?
The returning veterans. Anamo's been doing good.
Like a kick, like, yeah, like Zen with the kick, right? Like, I didn't think Zen needed more things, but like I think the kick is a really interesting and cool thing to sort of give him something else.
That makes sense because this is
Give Mercy a suplex. You come from, imagine if you could super jump. Okay, no, all right, we need to pause. We've solved Mercy. You make super jumping easier, and then when you super jump, you have a cooldown that from the air, you do more damage the higher you are, and Mercy just comes down with an elbow. And if you land on someone, it does damage based on how high you went. Hear me out. That would fucking bang. I'm down for that. The people's elbow. Exactly. Exactly. Guys, we've worked out how to fix Mercy and supports in one fell swoop. No one allow Custa to touch the code of this game. No, it's decided.
Make the most out of this aggressive position.
Oh, that punch was so close to landing. Hydron, there you go. That seismic slam has such a crazy range now. Hydron was trying to run away. He was antied and ends up falling to Hawk. Extremely scrappy though, as a fire grenade lands on checkmate this time around, as you saw Kai trying to go for a big flank. Nice sleep on someone. Can they follow that up? In fact, Sermajek goes down.
Sermajek, dude, Kai is... Dude, this was so funny about, like, Atlanta and stuff like that, like, in Soldiers. It felt like they just, like, exist in the backline, just running around on their own. Push feels even somehow more random than Control. I think people haven't really worked out how to play Push yet, but it's definitely a chaotic way of playing the game. Like, it's very chaotic. I think we'll get used to it. And, you know, I said this, even if you don't like Push, it's way better than 2CP. Regardless of anything, it's still way better than 2CP. And I actually kind of like that the games aren't too long. Like, I like that the games and the rounds aren't too long. One of the big things that I really like about Push as well is that I never feel like I've been screwed out of a game. You know what I mean? It never feels like we lost this map because of this one thing that happened, or they got this one pick or that dumb shit. That was the biggest problem with 2CP, is that they got one dumb pick or one dude just individually popped off at one point of the map, and then they capped the second point for free as well, right? Like, I always feel like the better team is winning.
There's the nano from Sermajek. It's on checkmate.
And that's what I like. I do like that a lot about the game mode.
He kills OG, but Nero is going to do the exact same thing to Florida's backline. They're trading, and not a very favorable one either. That's a Blade and a Visor coming up for the Rain next.
No more getting 2 CP because of spawns, yeah.
Rain just have so much space and control right now.
5 CP when? Well, here's the thing, right? You say 5 CP when? This is essentially 5 CP, right? If you think about it, it's 5 CP.
Huge difference in playstyle from the Atlanta Rain as well. They're really able to follow up on these ultimates, which
In both directions, though. But that's how that is what 5 CP is in both directions. Like it is 5 CP. You're going back and forth to a checkpoint. When you get a checkpoint, your spawns move. The only difference is that you can't just like. And I think this is what makes the bot an interesting idea. If the bot didn't exist, people would just be backcapping 100% of the time, right? And that just wouldn't be fun, right? Like, so I think you need the bot. It's a necessary evil of the 5 CP style. So.
I thought it was Kai. It was not. Kai gets the kill onto someone, but that robot's now moving back the Mayhem to push, but almost instantly you see the payload flipping around. Hydron goes down. You see what I mean?
How long is the push timer? 8 minutes. I think they could potentially increase the duration, but I don't know if it would just feel like wasted time. I don't know.
It doesn't feel like 8 minutes because there's so much action happening at any given point in time, and sometimes it's a little tough to tell who's really.
Why is it not a bi-directional payload? I don't know what you mean.
This payload even further.
I just thought 5 CP was a hypothetical game mode. No, 5 CP is actually a TF2 game mode.
Right back.
Right back, yeah. The robot walks a little bit quicker now, so does get back to your barricade a lot faster.
The bot should heal you like the payload does? Yeah, I can see that.
Fairly close. However,
Incentivize people to stand next to the robot.
rather quick, so you can already see you can get a touch right now if you're Hawk. Hydron on the
Yo, MCP, thank you for the 15 months. Yo, it's my favorite New Zealand.
Blade available from Nero too. Ultraviolet also has that nano. They could go in just okay. Hydron's dead. Ultraviolet.
How does you... Hydron just got... that might have been a little too dicey by Hydron ending up too isolated. And then they just win with the nano blade.
Clean up. Checkmate does kill Ultraviolet eventually, but again,
That might have been a little bit too much flanking and splitting up by the Florida Mayhem. But I guess that's nano blade. So Florida can come back with their own ultimates this fight.
I feel like Ultraviolet has done that a lot. Actually, kind of
Ban him.
sacrificed himself for the greater good of.
When more... Does the bot go fast when more people pushing? I don't believe so. I don't believe the bot pushes at all faster with more people.
Okay,
Which I don't hate. I don't hate that it would move faster.
Sometimes you will see teams back off and give space to the enemy team.
that was so close. Nice beat.
That was a great beat by Animo.
Nanovisor used. Everybody pressing Q on the Florida Mayhem. 3 ults burned just like.
Alright, so Florida's moving now.
Reverse side, Nero and Hawk also popped.
Yeah, it can be hard to catch up to the bot. Like, you wouldn't want it to move faster when you have 2 people because you wouldn't be able to keep up, right?
Point on the map where you just want to sit
The speed changes only if he's pushing the barrier. So if he's pushing the barrier, then more people matters. Oh my god, that was a lot of ults. What was that? That was wait, that was just a visor beat from Atlanta? Florida have no ults now, though.
I think that's the hard thing about the. Yeah, well, for sure in that case, but I think that's kind of why the Nano Blade has been used without the support of the Nano Boost, right? Or the
When's the community going to decide on one name? I don't even know what Jason means. People were saying it was Super Chat is calling it Jason. Why is it called Jason from Super Chat?
throwing two.
Like, what is... Does it make sense?
It's just one.
Alright, most of the time has elapsed already. 2
Jason?
seconds remaining, and
XQC?
Mayhem have struggled to get a point in this game, or like control of the robot. So much and so
XQC just called it Jason for no reason.
robot pushed even further. It's fairly
Oh, it was from XQC, not Super? Oh, okay.
finished because of
It doesn't make sense. It's not funny enough. You know what I mean?
checkpoint reached though. Forward spawns now unlocking for the rain. So even quicker.
If it doesn't make sense, then I don't think it can be the name.
Yes, they can. And now that robot is also very close now.
Super is just the Wish version of XQC.
Cool if we ended up seeing take it, but Florida Mayhem, they do have to get a
Oh,
bit of
Kai just murders Hydron.
push this robot back.
Yeah, easy nano, easy.
Oh god, now Kai's dead.
However,
Kai's just accepted that he's dead and he's just shooting for the Genji.
someone and a nice deflect damage from
Saying XQC isn't funny? Oh no, I think XQC is funny. I'm saying XQC, the name isn't funny enough or interesting enough. You can't say someone, this is the name of the bot, and then be like, that is funny. If there's no rhyme or reason to it, you can't call it that. Custa, you're dropping frames. Oh fuck! I only dropped 33 frames. I think my computer's struggling. I might need to restart my computer at some point.
Somebody's ultimate charge, whether it's Hydron or Checkmate, and just get them
Hey. Hawk gets Hydron before the fights. Dude, Hydron has died way too much before the fight has really began. Checkmate is Nero though. It was a joke about the broadcast. Now I feel bad you didn't get. You're okay. I did drop 33 frames. Dude, it's actually so bad. This was one of the first day matches, right? Oh my god. It's so bad. Was this one of the first day matches? Yeah, this is game 3. Yeah, I heard the first day was brutal. We didn't have to, as I said, we had a clean feed, but yeah, it's actually brutal. Wolfgar, thank you for the 4 months. Huzzah! 2Fox, thank you for the 3 months. I really waited for Al this season. It was fun seeing you on the broadcast. Hope we'll return to live audience as a stand in the future. It was awesome seeing the Houston Dallas. Oh, good sleep by UV. Oh, the wake up though. Oh, he's still dead though. Damn, the UV diff. It really highlights how much better live audience gameplay and stuff like that is. Unwatchable, yeah. Glad's MYXI I heard was brutal.
And the Atlanta Reign, they take Coliseo and take the series 3-1.
Hell yeah. And that was Atlanta just being really good. I think Atlanta were a really solid team. And they look to be a really solid team in North America for this upcoming year. I think they are just very well rounded. They obviously have a lot of talent. Ultraviolet and OG, if you didn't know who they are, you know who they are now. Very good backline. Really excited to see more of these guys. I kind of want to see how they adapt as well when they don't want to play Doomfist. If they do need to play the Winston, right? Is Gator going to come in? And all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to see more of Atlanta Reign. Florida Mayhem pleasantly surprised a lot of people as well. They have a good talent individually. We were just kind of unsure how it would come together, but it seems like they have a pretty good understanding. Like this match was pretty close, right? Like I think other than Watchpoint Gibraltar, all 3 maps were pretty back and forth. So I don't think you can look down at Florida Mayhem for that one. And then Florida Mayhem beat the Paris Eternal, which was a good win. Like I think some people are underrating Paris because of that loss by Paris, but I think you got to give more credit to Florida Mayhem for that loss by the Paris Eternal. So we'll definitely be watching more of these guys in the future. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more Overwatch League VOD reviews. I'm going to be doing a ton of these throughout the weekend, throughout the weeks of Overwatch League. I love you all. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.